about. Switch it back on again. Yeah, so thank you for joining me for this, for helping me to keep you guys informed with regards to the situation with my father. And I'm sure it's for those people who know my father, it's come to come as a shock to everyone. And we're all really shocked by it, and nobody expected what even what's happening right now. It's just heartbreaking and causing to everyone grievance, adding to everyone's grievance, because we just want to, now that he's not with us anymore, we want to let him rest in peace, and just want the best for him. But we keep finding out new information of what keeps adding to their negligence. So first they force us into an operation. Then when I speak to them about cannabis alternative treatment, 2 days later we get a letter for his operation. A week or so after that, we go for a COVID test on the 14th of September. Then on the 17th, my father went in for a major bowel cancer operation at Croydon University Hospital, which used to be called Mayday Hospital. He had a successful, long, very successful operation where the bowel cancer was removed and his bowels were attached to, he had to have a stoma bag attached for to clear his stomach into, because they cut. So here's the pipe, here's the bowel cancer, here's where the cancer is. They've made a cut here, they've made a cut here, they've taken out this cancerous part. Now what they need to do was to join this part and this part, and they're saying that joining it like this is possible, but majority of the time what happens is that the stitches open up, creates a leak, and when there's a leak happening everywhere, then that causes an infection, and after having that infection it causes other health issues. So the best idea and the best way and the safest thing to do would to be attach a stoma bag, which would be there for his life. For the rest of his life he will have to have a bag. So we had to come to terms with acknowledging and understanding that it was a life-changing thing that we have to come to terms with. So we've covered that. Yes, we was worrying about it in the beginning, and now we've got no choice. We've been told we're in the hands of medical professionals who know the best treatment for my father. So now the operation was a success. It took longer than expected. They said 3.5 hours. It took 5 hours plus. There was a lot of blood loss, but he was in a stable condition and he's recovering. Then after surgery, they moved him into the ICU and then HDU, high dependency unit. And then from while he was in HDU, we was allowed to visit him. I saw him. We saw him on the 18th, the next day, in HDU, only for 5 minutes. So me and my auntie mom went to. We was in hospital. We was waiting all day, just waiting to see him. I couldn't wait to see him. I was so anxious. And then when we saw him, he had a big mask on, and he was in recovery. So he tried to talk, but because of the mask in his breathing, he couldn't. We couldn't understand what was being said. There wasn't no words. There was just sound. So I said, "Don't worry, Daddy. It's all right. You don't talk. We are here for you. Congratulations, Daddy. You're with us. You've made it through the operation. Well done. You're a very strong man. Don't worry." And he was like blinking his eyes, and he was acknowledging what we were saying to him. So we could see signs of recovery. Yes, Daddy. I said, "Don't worry, Dad. You'll be home soon. You're well done." So we could only see him for 5 minutes, unfortunately. But yes, I was so happy that we got to see him, which made it possible for me to attend an invitation gathering the next day on the 19th, which I'm really humbled by the whole community. Everyone's help and support on that day, especially Chick's Kitchen. She's a sister. She was I couldn't have made that trip on my own with my condition and everything going on. And a big thank you to Sister Chick's Kitchen for really helping me out that day on the way there and back, and everyone that helped me out at the event with helping me get medicated and gaining a little bit of pain relief and helping calm my nerves down from everything that's been going on. Because if I couldn't have visited my father on the 18th, I wouldn't have been able to do anything. It was just a relief, and I was full of joy when I saw him, even if it was 5 minutes on the 18th. Then I went to see him on the 20th, because 19th it was too late for me to visit. So on the 20th I went to see him, and we had a long chat, and I was able to speak to him because that mask was off, and he just had the pipe oxygen mask going into his nose. So we had a great conversation, and happy to see each other. I kissed him on his head, as I always do, and shook his hand and gave him a kiss on his cheek, and tried to give him a hug. But you just got to do what you can. So we're really pleased to see him, and really happy he made it through the operation, and he's making enough of a full recovery that he's everything is balanced, everything is being taken care of. His health is being monitored on a constant basis, and he looked really happy. I was over the moon. I said, "Oh, fantastic!" I put a post up on my Instagram and Facebook to say that my dad's doing well. I'm so happy, full of joy. I couldn't contain it. And then the next day was the 21st, when yeah. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone for all your kind messages, all your help, all your support, and all your condolences. I really, really appreciate it. We really do miss him each and every day, every minute, every second, every thought. I look in the mirror, all I see is him. I see my dad when I look at myself. He even joked. He joked when he was while he was in hospital, just as he was being moved into one of the wards, into that ward. The guy that was helping him settle in, he was saying to him, "No, this was in HDU." He was saying to the guy, "Oh, this is my brother. This is my brother." And I was looking around and I was saying, "You see, saying I'm his brother too." I see the nurse is just standing there, and he's saying, "Oh yeah, yeah, you look like your brother. You look like your brother." I mean, "Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, well, I'm the older one, obviously. He's the younger one." So that's what I said to him, and his dad sat down and he just had a little laugh, little giggle. But yeah, and then everyone else, he used to say, "My son, this is my son, he, my son." I love my daddy. Can't believe he's not here, but suppose it is what it is. So, let's see if we can have another dab. Where's my bowl gone? This cap is magnetic, so it has 4 holes in here, like this, down here. So that it's like you can vape on the terp pen with the cap on. And sometimes what happens is that there's extracts that actually drip down to the bottom here, and they collect. So what I tend to do is when I'm running out, so I just get this tool and I'll scrape from the inside of it and get little bits out to reuse. So let's give this a go, see what we can achieve. Okay. Oopsie daisy. I know I'm clumsy. That's why I gotta keep an eye on everything, make sure that everything is at a certain distance from my clumsiness. So I'm just collecting this little bit of rosin on the inside of the silicone pot, so we can have a dab. And as you could see, there's no buttons to push. You just inhale, and that heats up the coil at the top where the heating elements are, and that's what that was the red glow that you saw as I was inhaling. And the cutoff time for me to continuously inhale for is about 10 seconds. So what I normally do is inhale for 10 seconds, wait till it flashes, stop inhaling, and then continue inhaling for another 10 seconds, because by the end of that second inhale, 10 seconds, I'm pretty much getting a decent amount of vapor into my system. And then I just hold that in for as long as possible, 10 seconds if possible, and then enjoy the terps on the exhale, and that helps provide me more effective and efficient pain relief. So yeah, you've got to do what you can. Yeah, that's better lighting in yellow. Let me see if I can face it towards me. That's even better. Look at that. Hey, I'm back again. see me ugly mug. So this is what I got. Collected that from the pot, and we're just gonna dab this onto here. This will go red as I inhale from here. Take a sip of my, that was a hot tea, which is now iced tea. Wow, proper frozen iced tea. Boom. Okay, enjoy the terps on the exhale. Starting to get a bit chilly. Put my head down. Cover my ears. But apart from this, apart from this way, take this bubbler off. Take off that silicone piece. Got my water bubbler here. And this water bubbler is from a different device, which I thought to give it a go with this terp pen that you just inhale like this. So that way, and then I attached a one of these silicone mouthpieces to a plastic mouthpiece, just like so. So this bubbler comes like this without the glow in the dark stickers. So it's like this, the mouthpieces, see? You can buy them from vape shops or buy them online. But yeah, I just thought, let me see if this fits. It fits. Let me see if this fits in here. Oh, it fits. Let me see how I can manage to fit this one into here. As you can see, that's not going to work. So, let me try this mouthpiece in here. Oh, look at that. It just so happens to fit. This mouthpiece is also something I added to it, because you can see the mouthpiece on the inside. It's got a wider mouth for airflow. This has got a narrow gap, so I prefer smoking or vaping through something like that. It's more like a joint for me, so it's easier for me to inhale. So now that with that bit, just make sure it's got enough water in it. That looks great. So now let's see if this works here. Oh wow, look at that. Don't you like it when a plan comes together? See? So now this is my Boundless Tech terp pen that now I've attached my own personalized water bubbler to, with attached mouthpiece, and this is how this plays out. Not like a flute. wow, I can already feel the cannabinoids going into my endocannabinoid receptor system, which is feeding my CB1 receptors in my brain and my CB2 receptors in my body, which feeds the organs and the rest of my body. And I can feel the pain relief kicking in. Like I said, I always feel most effective and efficient pain relief through extracts, through dabbing, and this is one of the devices that helps me get that pain relief. It's one of the best devices that I've come across, which I can put together myself. And of course, I bought this from a company, and I bought this from a different company. I bought these from vape shops, and just put it together. And now, because it's like this, I can actually switch it off, and I can see it in the dark. I can see what is where, and how it is. So that's the terp. So that's what it is, basically. Let me put the cap on, and I'll show you the. Let that stand there for a second. And I've got a bit of extracts in that one. There was some extract reviews that I wanted to do, but it's something that I will get back onto once I've laid my father to rest. Rest in peace. Once he comes back from hospital after the coroner's investigation into the cause of death and the time of death, because they said that if it's been a full successful operation and he was making full recovery in HDU, high dependency unit, then what happened in those few hours when he was in that ward during that night that led to his passing away? They told me they think it was cardiac arrest. They think he had a heart attack. But I said to them, you don't know? You think that he had a cardiac arrest? They said, oh, that can happen at any time and it just takes a few seconds and nobody would know anything. So that's telling me that he wasn't being monitored. Okay, so I asked them, when did this happen? Oh, we think it happened in the early hours of the morning. So now they're telling me they don't know. They don't know when my daddy passed away. They've got no idea. Because there was no one there to look after him. If he called out for water, he called out for pain relief. If he needed anything, there was no one there to help him. No one there to help his cries. He was all alone on his own. No one there to hear his cries. And I know he would have struggled. And I know he would have called out for help. And I know he would have called out for my auntie mum. I know he would have called out for me. I know he would have called out for help. But there was nobody there. No one, none of us were there. We were not allowed to stay with him. And then he was gone. So now we're just waiting to get him back from hospital. And as soon as he comes back from hospital, after tests get done in to find out the cause of death and to find out the time of death. So we're just going to hang in there and be strong for my dad. And what else can we do, eh? It's really hard. It's really, really hard that not only they killed it, they don't know when he died. They don't know how he died. And today I found out that the day that they gave him food to eat, they didn't even bother giving him his insulin. He's diabetic. They know he's diabetic. Why didn't they give him his insulin? So that could have added to the issues. When my auntie mum was there, they gave him some food. She saw they didn't give him any insulin. She asked them, why didn't you give him his insulin? They said, what insulin? She said, he's diabetic. He needs his insulin. They said, are you sure he's diabetic? How can they ask, are you sure he's diabetic? We are his family. We know him. You're supposed to be his caregivers. You're supposed to know everything about him. You've got his whole history. His whole medical history is in front of you. And you're telling me, you're asking us, are you sure he's diabetic? What insulin? I have no words to describe how I'm feeling. Angry isn't even a word right now. So we know there was no one there. I know in my heart there was no one there to monitor his health because they don't know when he passed away. I know there wasn't anyone. They said to me, well, when the nurse came in the morning to check on him, he was gone.